This is going to be a lot. Okay, welcome back to If the Spaghetti Sticks podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Ruggiero. And my podcast is different because I go for walks and I talk about life in your 20s and everything that's happening, overwhelming and all. Overwhelmed, I definitely feel today. I just feel like there's just so much stuff going on. So much stuff. Like I have to work today, but I'm making a podcast. There's a solar eclipse happening at some point today at like 11 or something California time, I think. Like I have to catch a flight on Wednesday. I have a potential job opportunity side gig, so like there's just a lot happening. I got to get ready for like moving and there's also another trip. It's just like there's a whole list of things I have to worry about and think about, and it's just like it's very life. It's lifing. Lifing is lifing right now, and it's scaring the crap out of me. Okay. Moving on, talking about a simple thing. Today's weather is really cold. Like my hands are a little numb right now. And it's sunny, so that's always a positive. So I figured I'd come out and do a podcast because of the gorgeous weather. Although filming on a GoPro, it doesn't really pick that out. I get washed out a lot, but you know what? It is what it is. I don't have enough money right now to afford new camera equipment that won't do that. Anyways, yeah, so, it's a very overwhelming feeling today, very anxiety filled. I have no way of viewing the solar eclipse. I don't have those glasses, which I feel like I had them somewhere at home. But again, I didn't bring them because you never know when these things are going to happen. Like, I mean, come on. So now I'm trying to figure out a way to look at the sun without blinding myself. Now, I mean, listen, I had a marvelous idea of just like putting a little black kind of cover or sweatshirt or something over me and then just like filming the sun, and that's the way I get to see it is through a camera, which I mean honestly is a good idea, okay? Because I don't have to blind myself, I just blind my camera. So there's that aspect to it. So I think I might just do that, film it. I can't look at it because I might go blind. But yeah, solar eclipses are really cool, right? It's just, it sucks that I can't look at it. I want to look at the beautiful sun and the shadow on the sun and the ring light, and there's going to be so many photos on Instagram. I could just imagine it now. Like so many Canon USA, like so many, oh my God, I got this picture with a zoom lens, blah, blah, blah. I follow a lot of camera stuff on Instagram if you can't tell. That's all what Instagram is going to be talking about for like, a little while. Same thing with like YouTube Shorts, TikTok probably. But it's fine. I mean, I think it's cool. You'll see like solar time lapses or something like that. And it's really cool. I wish I could do that. But I'm going home and I'm getting my camera stuff to allow myself to actually do such things like that. So hopefully TSA will let me on with all my camera gear because, there's always a, like multi-tool or something that I don't remember is in the bag, and they're like, hold up. I'm like, shoot. And then I get patted down and the whole screeny thing. It's a whole thing. It really is. So, I mean, and some of you guys are like, also, Lauren, like, why are you making a podcast right now if you're like so overwhelmed? And here's the thing. I tend to overwork myself, but also like I do better under pressure, if that makes sense. So like doing things, it turns like the outcomes turn out better than say like I wasn't doing anything. You know what I mean? So I feel like I just have to be doing stuff all the time in order for that stuff to be good. Period, point blank. But yeah, so lots of stuff, lots of cool things happening. Also, you're probably like, Lauren, why are you wearing those sunglasses? They look so LA, so girly pop, and like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, you know what? Listen, I don't like when, you watch videos and people have those like reflective sunglasses on, or like really dark sunglasses where like you can't see their eyes. Cause like, I feel like that it makes them less of a person to me. I just want to like cut. I can't really cut because it's a podcast, but like cut to me like wearing sunglasses in a vlog. Anyway, I feel like it's more like personable, right? Like you get to see their eyes, you get to see like when they're looking at you, like all that kind of stuff. Because we're ultimately talking to you, the viewers. So I don't know. It makes it more. It's better. These are polarized. Okay, so it helps with like sun rays. But like, so if I didn't have to wear sunglasses, or if I didn't wear any sunglasses, then my eyes would be very unprotected. So wearing these sunglasses are better for my eyes, because I want to protect my eyes. I want the best eyesight when I'm older. I don't want to be wearing like these thick goggles, right, when I'm older. I want to have some eyesight, and with all this technology stuff, it's not good, especially with like all the blue light stuff and everything else, and how much screen time I actually am on and using, which is a lot because I'm always editing. But yeah, also, okay, I want to live my life like I'm in a movie. Okay, that's how I've always tried to live my life, right? I'm the main character. That's how I like to think of it. And my movie is being shot and directed all by me. But I'm starring in it. Kind of like a Woody Allen film, if you've seen those. He writes, shoots, directed, and he stars in it as well. So, I'm in a Woody Allen film. I'm in a Lauren Ruggiero film. Okay, so I want to be like a movie star. Okay, and these glasses make me appear like a movie star. Okay, I want to get some yellow ones too, because like yellow is all the rage, I guess. And it's like when you look through like yellow lenses, it like increases focus and stuff like that. And I'm like, I want to focus. Honestly, having ADHD, I don't think there's any chance for me. But still, trying things can't hurt, right? So these glasses make me feel like I'm in a movie. And honestly, I like them. And that's all that really matters. These glasses are so cool. I get a lot of looks, but honestly, I think it's because they think I look cool or something, Anyway, you could also wear these at night too. So it's like, it's not really dark like sunglasses, but like you can wear these at night and still look super cool. Still have good eyesight. So that's another good thing about them. But yeah, like all those old, old-timey kind of 70s movies, 70s looks. That's where like this era of sunglasses came out, right? Like the 70s, all the color tints. It just looks groovy. It's cool, For me, at least. I don't know about everybody else, but listen, I like the glasses. I'm working on getting a pair of yellow ones. Don't you worry. On to another topic. I wanted to talk about roommates. Now, this topic can be a little touchy. So, if you clicked on this episode and you have been a roommate of mine, turn it off. Because I don't want to hear it. This is truthfully just my opinion. And this is my honest evaluations. And being a roommate myself also. So I also want to share my story, because I feel like my past growing up and stuff also ties into this. Okay. I grew up in a house where I had my own room and my brother had his own room, and that's how we grew up. We had our own separate spaces, and I truthfully loved it, right? I was an introvert when I was, in elementary school, middle school, even high school. I was really introverted. That is until people told me like, oh, you're actually funny. You should talk more. And I'm like, yeah, guys, it's funny. But it wasn't then until like I cut my hair and I actually got confidence. But anyway, moving on back to the conversation. I always had my own space. I always had my own, private area where I could just be by myself. And I still partly am an introvert. I'm more like extroverted now that I'm older, but I definitely like my time alone, right? I like being in my own space, my own controlled environment, right? It makes me happy, truthfully. And I think that made an impact on me now, where even in college when I had a roommate, right, and then I have roommates now in my current time of filming this, but so I think that had a lot to do with it, and we were in a family of 4 and we had like a bigger house, so like we had space from each other, right? We weren't all like on top of each other 24/7 all the time. And I think that led to me kind of having this alone freedom to do all the crazy, chaotic things I like to do. The ADHD part. And so I had that and I loved it. And then, when I got to college, I was like, okay, I got to dial it back, right? There's like a stranger living in, my room and I got to get it together. But I honestly want to say, though, my college experience, the 1 year before COVID, I got that college dorm experience. It was a 2-person room, and I had the most amazing roommate, right? So we were at the intro to like the college thing that all freshmen goes at, the freshman orientation or whatever. And they were like, get partners, and I looked around. Everyone had already found partners. And it was just me and this other girl who didn't have partners. And she was like, yo, you want to be my partner, bud? And I was like, sure, buddy. And that's just kind of how it started, right? Like after we did that activity together, I was like, yo, do you have a roommate? She goes, no, do you have a roommate? I was like, nah. I was like, you want a room? And she goes, yeah, let's room together. So that's kind of how that situation happened. That's how I got my very first roommate. She was awesome. Like literally no complaints. She was literally awesome. She was in nursing school. And we had different schedules. Obviously, I was freshman year, I was doing basketball and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, she was quiet when, it was quiet hours. We went to bed roughly at the same time. She was clean. It was great, right? That experience was so good. It was like having a sleepover, right? It was nice. I was like, okay, I like the whole roommate thing. Like, this is nice. And when you wanted to talk to somebody, you had somebody, or you asked them a question, or if you guys were going to the same classes, which you are in your freshman year because everyone's doing like the general ed classes. You ask them a question or ask them for help. It was super nice to have, a roommate like her. It would be that first roommate experience. And honestly, she set the bar really, really high. Too high, if you will, because, now it's not the best situation. But, my first experience with roommates was really good. And if you're watching this, Kaylee, I hope you're laughing. And also, that's a little thing we did together. Anyway, so yeah, that rooming and college experience was pretty good for the most part. Flash forward to when I moved to California and I had to have 2 other roommates besides Haley. And then it ultimately became 3 other roommates and me and Haley. So 5 people. And this was in a double wide trailer, right? This is in a really, really 80s rundown, floors peeling up, carpets stained, toilet is gross, like that kind of space with 5 people. It's a totally different experience when you have more than just one person you're rooming with. And I think for me, it was crazy because I didn't have that many people in that small of a space before. And so it kind of just freaks me out. Hands down, it just freaks me out. Like, some people aren't clean and, everything's dirty and disgusting. Like, literally clean after whenever you cook. Like, none of that happens. The bathroom is just a disgrace. Like, I'd rather, go to the bathroom in one of these outhouses over here. Yeah, the outhouses are cleaner than that bathroom. So, literally, it's really big struggle for me, personally, sharing that kind of space with 5 people. Again, it's all probably from my upbringing and everything, and how I like to live and my standards I have for myself. Because if you don't have standards for yourself, what are you really doing? What are you working towards? What's the point? So I have standards, obviously, and these are ground, they're in the ground. They're 6 feet deep, and I am there too. It's bad. And no matter how many times I try to clean counters or anything, it still gets, mucked up every single time I go back in there. So it's what is the point of cleaning it myself? There was one point where I was just okay, I'm just gonna do it because clearly nobody else is going to. Might as well just do it, right? Me and Hells would do it. Until it was just a repeated process where it was just okay, I'm really over it. You want to live in filth? Let's do it. So now, my organ systems are probably made of iron by now. The chances of getting sick are probably really low. My immunity is through the roof, maybe on a godlike level. So I don't know what else to say about that one. But I also don't plan to live with any more roommates for the rest of my life. I honestly would rather pay the money not to. And I'd figure it out. So roommates are just a thing, and the most unappealing thing to me about California is that if I did go live off-site, I would have to room with somebody. And I just can't. I physically and emotionally can't do it. Because an environment takes a toll on my brain if I'm not in an environment that I feel safe, clean, and free to do my stuff, my filming stuff. I mean, if I ever do have a roommate in the future, I have stipulations and I'm gonna have boundaries, and I'm honestly gonna put in place rules, obviously. Because, listen, my people out there who have ADHD, you get angry really quickly. And most of the time, sometimes it's for no reason. Sometimes it's actually about the environment that you're in and you don't notice that. So you gotta put in those boundaries. Because if you don't put in those boundaries, then, you're gonna have a really hard time. Okay? So for my people out there with ADHD, set boundaries with everything in your life. Literally family, relationships, roommates, whatever. Set boundaries, because when people cross them, you don't like that one bit, and then you get angry and then you start doing dumb stuff. But the point is, for if I ever get, new roommates, or any other roommates in my lifetime, I would have some stipulations. That would be, quiet hours are at 10. Sometimes they aren't respected, so I will yell at them if they aren't. Quiet times are sharply at 10, because that's literally when I go to bed. I have a bedtime of 10 because I'm just exhausted and tired, especially for working and overworking myself throughout the day. So quiet hours are at 10. Cleaning weekly is a must. Doesn't matter who does what, but literally a must. Garbage can cannot overflow, because that's disgusting. And when you're done cooking, clean up your space. Literally so easy to do. Don't leave your dishes in the sink for more than one day. Don't have dirty dishes lying around the house because, mice, ants, etc. will try and go get it. So that's a no-go for me. Make sure the dishes are actually clean. Make sure you flush the toilet when you actually go. I don't want to see your ish when I go in there, okay? Literally, it's so simple. If you leave a glob of toothpaste in the sink, like, bro, what is wrong with you when you share the house with others? If you leave a loogie in the sink, that is also why. Clean. The point is clean up after yourself. Literally, that's number one rule that I have. Like, literally, it's the common sense. It really is the common sense, and I don't understand roommates who don't do those things. Like, bro, what? Now, before I hear rebuttals and all of the gist, I understand that people come from different backgrounds than me. I understand that people have different living situations outside of it. I understand that growing up, it could have been difficult. I understand all of those things, 100%. Fair. However, that doesn't mean that I don't get to complain about an unlivable space. Both of our backgrounds are valid. However, it needs to be a space where it is livable for other people. Like, you have to meet somewhere in the middle, because it's just not going to work. It's just going to be terrible, terrible living situation. So, with these, like, where I'm at right now, I'm going to be posting this after I leave. But it's just not a livable situation, It's super gross. I can't do it. And once I leave, I'm never coming back. And moving on to bigger and better things. I also want to mention the tea. I posted a video about what it's like to live in California for rent-free. I pointed out, sarcastically, all of the things that you get when you live for free. And be careful what you ask for when you live for free. People had a problem. I said, okay, I take it down for now. No filming in the house, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I didn't even argue. I just said whatever. And moving forward with our new lives. But it's things like that where I have freedom. I didn't do anything disruptive. A lot of people thought it was funny. I myself thought it was funny. It's just, comedy is subjective, okay? There's so much talk about comedy being racist, being religious, being, too far, being all these things. It's all subjective. Like, if you notice all the comedians out there, like, they have nothing to make jokes about. Literally, like, it's so boring now. The only thing you can make jokes about is yourself. Literally, that's it. You can't make jokes about anybody, anything, anywhere, nothing. And so, like, we've just gone too soft. Or maybe I'm just too harsh. I don't know. But, like, comedy is suffering now because there's so much stipulations and rules around what you can make jokes about and what you can't, because people are so sensitive. I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. Like, that's just me. Maybe somebody else can, like, explain it to me. I don't know. But, like, that's just me. That's just my opinion. Like, everybody has opinions, right? There's no right or wrong opinions. It's just, it is what it is. So, like, why don't you just leave it? I don't know. There's just lots of things where, for me, it's just like, I don't get it. Maybe it's because I didn't, grow up a certain way, or maybe because I didn't have, a lot of siblings, or I don't know what it was, but those are my opinions. That's what I stand by. If you want to get offended at it, go ahead, you can. I don't care. That's just my opinion. That's my whatever. Take it or leave it. Like, girl, stop. Anyways, moving forward. When you are looking for a roommate, make sure they check all of the boxes. When you're going into roommates blind, it does not end well. So if you're like up on Facebook Marketplace, blah, 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 you should list some of these rules when you're looking for like a new buddy to room with. Like, you should definitely like scope them out first. Make sure they're, not going to be a bother, and then go for it. Then make your decision. And especially in your 20s, when you're really living it, bumming it maybe, without, parents and their house and money and stuff, and you have to have roommates. Sometimes it just is what it is. To get a certain experience, to get a certain job, it is what it is until the time being, It's not permanent. Things are going to change. Okay? This is definitely going to be a video where it's going to be like unpopular opinions. Roommates. Little shameless promo here. If you guys want to see more content, want to be in the loop of future videos to come, want to see cool shorts that are really funny that I don't post anywhere else, if you want to see my photo collections, you can go to my Patreon page and support me if you want. If you want to go see those things. I personally think it's really cool. It's the best way to get in contact with me. And yeah, go support. I'm moving soon, so I really need it. I also really want you guys to comment. What do you guys think about roommates? Okay, what is your most annoying thing? Oh, I've also forgot to mention, me as a roommate. I want to talk about, so like, not talking about other people now I'm talking about myself here. Me as a roommate, I am quiet. I do my own thing. I stay in my room. And I just vibe. I maybe cook a little food. That's it. When I'm with people, it also depends. If I'm with people that I like, then I'll be more out, more social. But if it's like people that I don't really want to talk to at all, I'm so quiet. Because, why would I say anything, right? I don't trust them. I don't want them to use anything against me, blah, 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 whatever. It's the protective aspect of myself. Come on, guys. But yeah, so me as a roommate, I'm good. I clean up after myself like I was taught to by my parents. Clean my dishes right away, or I put them in the dishwasher sometimes. But most of the time, I just like my stuff. I'd rather have just like me touching my stuff. So, I always clean my stuff. Bathroom wise, same ordeal. It's how I was taught to grow up. And yeah. So me as a roommate, I'm really not a bother. I won't bother you. You won't even notice that I'm in there. Other than the fact that I wake up at like 6. I get some breakfast stuff together, maybe use the microwave, and then I'm like out the door on a walk or a run or exercise of some sort. So I really don't do much as a roommate. I just kind of, go to my bedroom and do my stuff. If I have to go use my car, I will go use my car, and then I'll come back, go to my room. I really don't hang out. I really don't, have the brain space for that currently. So I just don't. But yeah, like I don't leave dirty dishes. I don't do the whole, whatever else. I'm chill. yeah, the only thing that I feel like would be a bother would be like my 6 a.m. like I'm getting food so I can go on a walk or a run or making coffee or something like that. That's probably my most annoying attribute when it comes to me being a roommate. Anyways, but yeah, maybe it's just me that I'm just so particular about because I have ADHD and I like things a certain way. But I also am aware that I can't have everything that I want. So, I have to like pick and choose battles. But, I don't know. It's definitely a pick and choose battle. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to get medicated. I don't know. Listen, guys, truthfully, I don't really know. But I'm just here giving unpopular opinions about roommates and also about myself as a roommate. Let me know what you guys are like as a roommate. I like cleaner, neater people to room with versus not. But, again, when you sign up for blind roommates, you get what you get, and you can't really throw a fit until you leave, that is, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so let me know what you guys, are like a roommate. Let me know some of your stipulations as a roommate. Like, what do you guys like versus what do you guys don't like? What about the air, the thermostat? Oh, gosh, if people touch the thermostat and it gets so freaking hot, I'm mad. Mad. I like it to be colder. That way I can layer. But if you get hot, there's only so much stuff you can take off. Yeah, so let me guys know your preferences. Am I the only one that thinks this way? I really don't know. But I'm in the thick of it. I'm just throwing spaghetti against the wall, hoping that it sticks or unsticks in my case. So, that's just what it is. Again, if you want to follow me, support me, please, give a like, comment. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, give it a 5-star review. And I will see you guys all in the next If the Spaghetti Sticks podcast. Again, I'm your host, Lauren, and we out here in the 20s.